This is Stephanie from statisticshowto.com. In this video, I'm going to show you the difference between nominal, ordinal, interval and ratio data. The word nominal comes from the Latin nominalis, which means pertaining to names. It's another name for a category. For example, the category might be gender, containing the variables male, female, or other. Hair color could be a category. Hair could be brown, black, blonde, red, etc. And genotype is an example of a nominal variable. Genotypes can be big B, little b, two small b's, and so on. These variables are often placed into pie charts. They have a couple of defining characteristics. The first is that you can't assign them any order. The second is they cannot be quantified. In other words, you can't perform arithmetic operations on them like addition or subtraction, or any logical operations like equal to or greater than. Next up is ordinal. Ordinal means in order. An example might be the scale of hot peppers from hot to hottest. Anything that's ordered first, second, third, and so on, like finishing in a race, socio-economic status, poor, middle class, and rich, and the Likert scale is ordinal. Those are the surveys where you give your responses: agree, disagree, strongly disagree, and so on. With an ordinal scale, you don't know if the intervals between the values are equal. For example, in a marathon, you might have first, second, and third place, but there's nothing to say that the intervals between first and second and third are exactly the same. On the other hand, the interval scale has equal intervals that mean something. For example, a thermometer might have intervals of 10 degrees. Other examples of an interval scale are Celsius temperature, Fahrenheit temperature, the intelligence scale, IQ, and SAT scores. The ratio scale is practically identical to the interval scale, except that it doesn't have a meaningful zero. The zero does not exist in the ratio scale. For example, if you're 0 years old, you don't exist. 0 degrees Kelvin also does not exist. The other two temperature scales are interval, but Kelvin is ratio. A few more examples: sales figures, weight, and height. The 0 in all of these things means that it doesn't exist. A note on age: in some cultures, 0 does exist, which can confuse things a little. But these are broad categories of variables, not absolutes. In fact, the interval and ratio scales are often treated exactly the same. Together, the interval and ratio scales are the most precise. They are the ones that can be measured. You might also see these scales referred to as scale, parametric, or quantitative. There are also some differences in the types of statistics you can get from different types of data. For interval and ratio data, you can get summary measures like the mean, the mode and the median, the standard deviation and the variance. You cannot get those summary measures from nominal or ordinal variables. You can only generally get frequencies and proportions for both of them. In some cases, you may be able to get a mean from ordinal variables, but generally not. Pie charts work well for displaying nominal data, as do bar graphs. For ordinal data, a bar graph is great. Do not use a pie chart, it doesn't work. For interval and ratio data, you can also use a bar chart. In addition, you can use a histogram. The difference between the two is that you would use a bar chart for discrete data points and a histogram for continuous data. You can also use a line graph, which is especially suited when your data involves measuring time. Those are the major differences between nominal, ordinal, interval and ratio data. For more examples, check out statisticshowto.com. I'll see you in the next video.